William James, the father of modern psychology, spent his entire life searching for answers to the biggest questions: how to find meaning, how to face uncertainty, how to live with courage when life feels hard. His final wisdom was simple but powerful. Life is an experiment. Meaning is created through habits, beliefs, and action. Be curious, be open, and never stop exploring. Tonight, in part 33, the end of chapter 6, you'll discover his final lessons on meaning, resilience, and human connection, how his ideas on experience, pluralism, and courage still guide us today, and the one message that will inspire you to live with purpose. This is the end of chapter 6. Stay until the end. His final wisdom will touch your heart. Final reflections on the enduring impact of William James. Page 15 continues the conclusion of chapter 6 by reflecting on the full scope of William James's life, thought, and influence. By examining his intellectual achievements alongside his human qualities, we gain a complete picture of why James remains a central figure in philosophy, psychology, and the study of religion. His life and work provide guidance, inspiration, and a model for engaging meaningfully with both knowledge and human experience. One of the most remarkable aspects of James's life was his ability to integrate theory with practice. He did not separate ideas from life. Instead, he demonstrated that thinking and living are deeply connected. Pragmatism, his most influential philosophical contribution, exemplifies this integration. By insisting that the value of an idea depends on its practical consequences, James encouraged readers to test theories in the real world. This approach made his work accessible, applicable, and enduring. It is a principle that continues to influence philosophers, educators, psychologists, and ordinary readers today. James's impact on psychology cannot be overstated. He helped transform the study of the mind from abstract speculation into a systematic, observational, and reflective discipline. His careful attention to consciousness, attention, habit, emotion, and belief set the foundation for modern psychology. Later researchers built on his insights to explore memory, perception, and the unconscious mind. Even as scientific techniques have advanced, his emphasis on understanding subjective experience remains central to psychological inquiry. In philosophy, James's contributions were equally profound. He challenged dogma, emphasized pluralism, and focused on practical consequences. His pragmatism remains influential in debates about truth, ethics, and knowledge. Philosophers continue to study his work to understand how ideas shape human action and how human experience can inform ideas. His approach encourages open-mindedness, critical thinking, and a focus on living thoughtfully. James also left a lasting mark on the study of religion. The Varieties of Religious Experience remains a foundational text for understanding faith, mysticism, and spiritual life. By treating personal religious experience seriously, he helped scholars, clergy, and lay people appreciate the diversity and depth of belief. His work promotes tolerance, empathy, and respect for the inner life of others, lessons that are essential in today's multicultural world. An important part of James's legacy is his human-centered approach. He valued empathy, listening, and respect for others' experiences. His teaching, writing, and personal interactions were marked by warmth, encouragement, and patience. He believed that intellectual work must be guided by moral responsibility and care for humanity. This combination of intelligence and compassion is a central reason why his influence endures. People are drawn not only to his ideas, but also to the way he lived them. James's life also provides lessons about resilience, courage, and dedication. Despite struggling with depression, illness, and personal challenges, he maintained his intellectual activity and teaching responsibilities until the end of his life. He demonstrated that difficulties need not prevent achievement. Instead, they can inspire deeper reflection and creativity. His perseverance offers a timeless example of courage in the face of adversity. Page 15 also highlights the interdisciplinary nature of James's influence. By combining philosophy, psychology, and religious studies, he demonstrated that understanding human life requires multiple perspectives. His work encourages collaboration across disciplines, showing that complex problems are best approached from more than one angle. This integrative vision has shaped modern education, research, and intellectual inquiry. James's focus on practical wisdom is another reason for his lasting impact. He emphasized that ideas must serve life, that reflection should guide action, and that understanding must connect with experience, whether applied to education, therapy, social reform, or personal growth. This principle makes his work relevant to a wide audience. Readers continue to find guidance in his writings for making ethical decisions, cultivating habits, and navigating uncertainty, even more than a century after his death. James's work is cited in philosophy, psychology, education, and religion. His ideas about the mind, consciousness, and belief continue to influence research and practice. Teachers, therapists, scholars, and everyday readers find in him a source of inspiration and practical advice. His writings encourage critical thinking, empathy, and self-reflection, qualities that remain vital in the modern world. In conclusion, William James's life and work exemplify the power of curiosity, integrity, and human empathy. He combined intellectual rigor with a deep concern for the human experience. His philosophy, psychology, and study of religion remain foundational because they address enduring questions about thought, belief, and life. Chapter 6 emphasizes that James's legacy is not confined to academic achievements. It lives in the way people approach knowledge, relationships, and ethical action. Finally, James's enduring influence shows that a life devoted to thoughtful inquiry, compassionate engagement, and practical wisdom can shape the world for generations. His ideas continue to inspire new thinkers, guide ethical reflection, and provide insight into the human mind and spirit. William James remains a guiding figure in modern intellectual life, and his writings continue to illuminate the challenges and possibilities of human existence. The final wrap-up, William James's Enduring Wisdom, Chapter 6, by summarizing William James's life lessons, the scope of his influence, and the reasons his work remains vital today. This page focuses on the themes that make his philosophy and writings timeless, highlighting how his insights continue to guide individuals and societies. One of the most important aspects of James's legacy is his belief in the power of individual experience. For James, knowledge is not something abstract, separate from life. It arises from lived experience, observing, reflecting, and acting. This idea remains highly relevant today, as it encourages people to take their personal experiences seriously while remaining open to learning from others. In psychology, education, and philosophy, this principle reminds us that human life is rich, varied, and deeply meaningful. James's writings also demonstrate the value of open-minded inquiry. He did not insist that one perspective contained all the answers. Instead, he encouraged exploration, experimentation, and thoughtful consideration of multiple viewpoints. This pluralistic approach is especially valuable in our modern, interconnected world, where understanding diverse perspectives is crucial. By respecting the diversity of thought, James modeled intellectual humility and curiosity, showing that wisdom grows when we listen as well as think. Another enduring lesson is the importance of action informed by thought. James believed that ideas are valuable when they have practical consequences. This pragmatic approach connects theory to practice, reflection to real-world action. In education, leadership, social reform, and personal growth, his work encourages applying knowledge wisely and ethically. His insistence that belief without action is incomplete teaches that intellectual reflection must be paired with meaningful engagement in life. James also offers guidance on resilience and courage. Throughout his life, he faced illness, depression, and personal challenges. Yet he continued teaching, writing, and exploring new ideas with determination. His perseverance illustrates that adversity can coexist with achievement, and that courage in thought and action strengthens character. Readers today draw inspiration from his example, understanding that challenges can foster growth rather than limit potential. Chapter 6 highlights James's integration of science and human values. He respected empirical research and careful observation, but also emphasized the richness of subjective experience. He showed that understanding human life requires both quantitative study and qualitative insight. This balance between measurement and meaning remains a guiding principle in psychology, education, and interdisciplinary research, showing that facts and values can coexist harmoniously. James's work in religion and spirituality continues to be influential. He approached religious experience with respect and curiosity, analyzing it scientifically without dismissing its personal significance. His perspective fosters tolerance and empathy, demonstrating that faith, belief, and personal meaning are important aspects of human life. Today, his work helps scholars, clergy, and seekers navigate complex spiritual and moral questions. Education is another area where James's influence persists. He emphasized active learning, habit formation, and attention, guiding teachers to cultivate curiosity, critical thinking, and ethical judgment in students. His principles remain foundational in modern pedagogy, shaping curricula and classroom practices worldwide. He encouraged educators to connect theory with practice, helping students understand both ideas and their application in life. James's writings also provide lessons in self-reflection and personal growth. He encouraged individuals to examine their beliefs, understand their emotions, and cultivate habits that promote well-being and ethical behavior. His ideas remain relevant for anyone seeking to lead a thoughtful, meaningful life by combining philosophical insight with practical guidance. He bridges the gap between theory and everyday living. Page 16 also emphasizes the multidisciplinary nature of his influence. James asks ideas to touch philosophy, psychology, religious studies, literature, education, and social thought. This broad reach shows that his work cannot be confined to a single field. It demonstrates the importance of integrative thinking and the value of approaching human problems from multiple perspectives. Modern interdisciplinary research and teaching often reflect his pioneering spirit. Finally, James's life exemplifies intellectual integrity, compassion, and humility. He pursued knowledge with honesty, respected differing viewpoints, and cared deeply about the well-being of others. His combination of rigorous thought and human warmth made his work meaningful and accessible. Page 16 concludes by reminding readers that James's example is as valuable as his ideas. Living thoughtfully, empathetically, and courageously embodies the principles he taught. In conclusion, William James remains a guiding figure in intellectual and human life. His emphasis on experience, pluralism, practical consequences, and human values ensures that his work continues to inspire. This chapter shows that his legacy is both timeless and relevant, offering guidance for students, scholars, and anyone seeking to live with curiosity, courage, and wisdom. His life demonstrates that thoughtful inquiry, ethical action, and compassion can leave a lasting mark on the world. Completes chapter 6 by offering a final reflection on William James's life, thought, and legacy. By this stage, readers can see not only the depth of his intellectual contributions, but also the human qualities that made him an enduring source of inspiration. His work and life continue to resonate because they address the timeless challenges of understanding ourselves and the world around us. One of the most striking aspects of James's legacy is his integration of theory and life. He believed that ideas are not valuable simply as abstract concepts. They must be tested through experience. This principle, central to his philosophy of pragmatism, encourages readers to apply thinking to living. It reminds us that understanding grows when we act thoughtfully, reflect carefully, and consider the consequences of our choices. Pragmatism, therefore, is not only a method of philosophy but also a guide for daily life. James's influence on psychology continues to be profound. His observations on consciousness, attention, habit, and emotion laid the groundwork for the modern understanding of the mind. By emphasizing the importance of personal experience alongside empirical study, James provided a model for psychology that is both scientific and human-centered. Therapists, educators, and researchers continue to find guidance in his work, demonstrating that his insights remain valuable across generations. In philosophy, James's insistence on pluralism, open-minded inquiry, and practical consequences has inspired scholars for more than a century. His work challenges rigid thinking and promotes a flexible approach to truth, ethics, and belief. Philosophers still study James to understand the interplay between ideas and life, and his approach continues to inform debates on epistemology, morality, and human understanding. James's contributions to religion and spirituality also endure. He emphasized the importance of studying religious experience seriously while respecting its personal significance. By exploring faith as a human phenomenon rather than imposing dogma, James encouraged tolerance, empathy, and reflection. His approach remains a guide for scholars, clergy, and spiritual seekers, promoting understanding in a world of diverse beliefs. Another reason James remains influential is his focus on resilience and courage. He faced illness, depression, and personal challenges throughout his life, yet he continued to teach, write, and explore difficult questions. His perseverance offers a model for anyone navigating adversity, demonstrating that challenges can be met with thoughtful action and intellectual engagement. His life shows that courage is not the absence of difficulty but the determination to continue, learning and acting in spite of it. Education is another area shaped by James's vision. He advocated for active learning, attention, habit formation, and critical thinking. His ideas remain central to modern pedagogy, emphasizing that students learn best when they engage directly with ideas, reflect on their experiences, and connect knowledge with practice. Teachers today continue to benefit from his guidance on cultivating curiosity, responsibility, and independent thought in students. James's writings also offer lessons in self-reflection and personal growth. He encouraged individuals to examine their beliefs, explore their emotions, and develop habits that support well-being and ethical behavior. His philosophy remains relevant for readers seeking meaning, purpose, and practical guidance in everyday life. By blending intellectual inquiry with human experience, James provides tools for thoughtful living and moral reflection. This chapter emphasizes James's interdisciplinary influence. His ideas span philosophy, psychology, religious studies, education, and literature. This broad reach demonstrates that understanding human life requires multiple perspectives and integrative thinking. Modern interdisciplinary studies often echo James's approach, showing the continued relevance of his vision for exploring complex questions about mind, behavior, and society. A central feature of James's legacy is his human-centered approach. He valued empathy, curiosity, and respect for others' experiences. His teaching, writing, and personal interactions were marked by warmth and encouragement. By combining intellect with compassion, he made complex ideas accessible and meaningful. Readers are inspired not only by his work, but by the example of how he lived, thoughtfully, ethically, and with genuine care for others. Finally, James's life and work teach that lasting influence arises from both ideas and character. His intellectual achievements, pragmatism, psychology, and the study of religion are inseparable from his qualities of empathy, humility, courage, and curiosity. His legacy endures because he demonstrated that knowledge, action, and human values must work together. Thought without care or action without reflection is incomplete. James's life embodies the integration of mind, heart, and deed. In conclusion, this chapter highlights that William James's enduring influence is a result of his combination of intellectual brilliance, practical wisdom, and human compassion. His philosophy encourages critical thinking, his psychology guides understanding of the mind, and his approach to religion promotes tolerance and empathy. Beyond his writings, his life exemplifies resilience, courage, and thoughtful engagement with the world. James remains a model for scholars, teachers, students, and all who seek to live a reflective and meaningful life. Chapter 6 ends with the understanding that William James's legacy is timeless. His ideas continue to shape philosophy, psychology, education, religion, and everyday life. His life reminds us that intellectual achievement is most powerful when paired with ethical action and human care. By studying James, readers are encouraged to explore boldly, think critically, act wisely, and live compassionately, principles that remain as relevant today as they were in his own time. William James left us with a complete guide to a meaningful life. But his story is not over yet. In Chapter 7, starting tomorrow, you'll discover the unpublished secrets that shocked the world, the idea that predicted modern therapy, and the final revelation that made Einstein call him America's greatest mind. Chapter 7, Part 34 drops tomorrow, 8 p.m. sharp. Subscribe plus bell on. The journey continues.